Mizrahim and Sephardim voting being the largest Likud voting bloc, we could inquire about that and say, like, why is that happening? What is attractive about the Likud party platform and Netanyahu to this part of the population? Now, that would be a fascinating question. I don't know if there's like polls or anything like that, but that would be interesting. That would be interesting to try to figure out. Which leads me to another like observation about Israeli society, which is most of it is Sephardi Mizrahi, population-wise, amongst the Jews. And then if you add in the Arabs, right, so then you're overwhelmingly sort of like the political culture that people come with is a Middle Eastern political culture. And the minority political culture is actually the West. Now that's something telling about what's going on inside, internal to Israeli society and Israeli politics. In part, you have this, right? I think in part you have a bit of a clash between Middle Eastern style politics and Western style politics, and they're trying to figure it out.
Well, I'd like to hear from everyone on the stage, but I feel that I love you and Daniel. Let me just be very brief. I love you and Daniel, but you and Daniel are obviously, you have a very, very high IQ, very high education level. I don't have confidence that you and Daniel really understand people who are much stupider than you and much less educated. Not because you're a bad person, but it's just because you don't live and breathe with low IQ tribal people. So you guys are maybe too sophisticated to understand the voters. I'm done speaking.
You know, in the Likud party that has a majority like Mizrahi voters, when they had like David Levy, you know who David Levy? He was like someone coming from where was it? The Sderot, I don't remember exactly where he lived. Like,
yeah, he was like from Sderot or
Sderot, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
And the voters did not vote him, and that was like a big thing, you know. First time he's running for the head of the Likud, which kind of could lead him to be prime minister, and he lost by the Mizrahi themselves. To be honest, I don't think that the Israeli society looks as race like the American society. The American society, the race is very, very, it's in everywhere. Like still today, like I see shows, I hear Clubhouse, I see like everything is really surrounding race. For us, I don't see it. I honestly tell you that.
I respectfully disagree with you. So I have evidence that you're wrong. Okay. The last time I was in Israel, I went to the Negev. Okay. I went to the Negev. I went to the working class communities in the Negev, which I recommend you go if you get the opportunity. And just dress like a schlep. Do me a favor. Dress like a poor schlep and talk to the people in the Negev, and they will tell you that they hate educated Ashkenazi people because their perception is highly educated Ashkenazi people in your social class, Daniel, look down on them.
So why do they champion Netanyahu and the Likud? What's the exchange going on there?
It's not. It shouldn't be hard for you to understand. It's exactly the same reason why working class people support Geert Wilders in the Netherlands. Working class people support Marine Le Pen in France. Working class people support Nigel Farage in the UK. Working class people all support Trump in the US. Like, come on, get a fucking clue. Israel is not different than the rest of the world. Working class people hate highly educated folks who they suspect look down on them. That's true in every fucking country in the world. And I'm sorry for being so exercised. I'm going to go to the audience for a while. I think
hang on.
I think you're pretending to be stupider than you are.
No, stay, because now something clicked for me. Are you saying it is racism on the part of the Ashkenazi elites, or it's just perceived racist? That's what the people are saying. That's what the Mizrahim in Dimona and Ofakim and Arad are saying. But my guess is it's probably a little bit of both. I'm sure there is some elitism.
I mean, when he says that the working class people of France and all these other countries, they're the disaffected people who look at the immigration and they say, why are we giving away all of our national surplus to these people? It should be coming to us. Where's our nationalism? So, I mean, Hubert, if you want to come back up, I don't understand why internally in Israel, maybe they have the same sentiment but even in America, that sentiment has resulted in Trump MAGA populism, nationalism.
you find it ironic, right?
Yeah, I think that the people, I think that, first of all, I hope I'm not coming across as rude, but I think David and Caleb, because they have such incredibly high IQ and such high educations, they just don't understand working class people, in my view. Not anywhere in the world. They wouldn't understand, in my humble view, they wouldn't understand a working class person in West Virginia or in Marseille or anywhere. They just understand, they're not, but they don't understand in class low IQ people think.
But again, I don't think that Mizrahi are low IQ. I think it's about opportunities. And if the Likud, or like whatever Netanyahu, wants to help those poor people, so in the last, I don't know, 20 years, how many schools did he open in Sderot? Why does he move a university over there? Like, maybe there's a problem, you know, where they are mixed. Like, check how many Mizrahis are in the Haifa Technion. You will find many of them running banks. Like, yes, maybe if you are on the peripheria and you don't have like access to proper things, then you have like less chances. So you would vote someone that will kind of change that, not enforce, like reinforce it. And that is why I'm thinking that he's not the solution, he's part of the problem. And making it bigger, not making it smaller. Because making it bigger is good for politics, because, you know, divide and conquer. If people are oppressed and you are the salvation, they will vote for you. If you provide a solution, then you're not relevant anymore.
Kubert, I don't understand. Why don't you think Daniel and Caleb can sympathize with working class?
A very good education, and I believe that I'm not criticizing. I believe they socialize mostly with other high IQ educated people. I don't believe that they actually spend very substantial time with extremely uneducated working class people. That's my view.
So I will surprise you that I even have family from Sderot, and I don't think it's about race, because again, it's maybe about opportunities. Yes, I got good education, but so did my Moroccan, Iraqi, Yemeni friends that were in the same class as me. It's not about race, it's because where I was born. It's not a racial thing, it's not like in Mizrahi versus Sfaradi. Like in my class we had everybody literally from everywhere. I even had people from abroad, like, and not like, you know, like Romania and like not like Eastern Europe. And we were all getting the same education. So maybe in the peripheria where you have like maybe communities of Mizrahi that do not integrate, they need to get more investment. So yes, they should have a politician that takes care of them. But I just don't think it's about race. It's maybe about geography. In Tel Aviv, and where I was born, yes, we have everything from everyone, from Ethiopians to the most like translucent Ashkenazis. But we all get the same education and same opportunities.
I think there's another factor. Okay, let me be brief, and then I want to hear from our good friend Pepe. But
you don't have to be brief for that. Every time you say I'll be short.
I'll try to be brief. Let me try to be brief. I like the Israeli concept of new. And I'm actually surprised in these rooms I never hear new stated.
Saying new?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant.
No.
What do you mean new?
New is a Hebrew, hold on, new is a Hebrew word. There's no English translation. What new means is, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but you're taking too long to say it, so speed it the fuck up. That's the way it's used in Hebrew.
It's many uses.
Yes.
We're gonna find out very soon.
Accurately, I'm asking you, do you think I'm accurately describing the way Israelis use new, or do you think I'm lying?
No, first of all, it's new, not new, like new and new. And we have, you can use it in a few ways, but a lot of time you are right.
We're gonna conquer Israel. Fuck the Jews. We're gonna conquer all of Israel. Fuck the Jews. We're gonna crush you all like Saladin did, but this time we're gonna do massacres. Fuck them.
Okay. It's about like hurrying people up, like new, like.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I have an honest question. Why the fuck do I never hear that word on Clubhouse? Because that's the word. That could be the best Israeli contribution to Clubhouse, is getting that word in circulation.
because you don't speak Hebrew, I guess, here. I didn't notice it. Did I say no here before? Or did I tell you no?
No, to the best of my knowledge, I am the only person in the fucking history of Clubhouse that has ever used it on Clubhouse. I am the newest and the onlyest one.
Can I tell you something, Hubert? And here's I think the reason why it's not being used. And I don't say this with any joy or glee or patting myself on the back or anything like that. Most of the Jews here who are still here wouldn't understand it.
That's true. That's why my favorite person on Clubhouse is Pepe, because Pepe speaks the truth. Pepe doesn't give a fuck about offending people. I've seen Pepe go into rooms and speak the truth, and by speaking the truth, he offends every single race, every political group, and every religion on Clubhouse. I don't know if anyone as fearless as Pepe, respectfully.
Yeah, but Pepe has wasted a lot of time on this app, and
Hold on, let Pepe respond. Pepe.
Well, the things, yeah, well, you know the rooms I used to make. I don't really have, like, how do I put it? I'm not like an advertising friendly person. I don't really, I guess I was wasting my time. I mean, I don't know.
So I come on Clubhouse to learn from people that think the opposite of me. If there's a room where everyone agrees with me, I will leave very, very quickly, because why the fuck do I want to spend time with people that agree with me? I'm here to learn.
yeah, but just because you get the opposite position of your position doesn't mean you're going to learn anything. And I mean, when I say Pepe wasted time, he didn't waste time. He wasted time in the sense that he created a lot of content, but didn't capture it, and it's not family friendly. So it's comedy, but it's such extreme comedy. It gets labeled as hate speech.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying this room is being captured and or recorded?
No, I'm saying Pepe should have done that with his comedy routines with Mon. Every day he had huge rooms here, and he should have replatformed it and created a podcast. I mean, look at his PTR. Like, he looks like Mr. Podcast. Instead, he just comes here to waste his time. He's created nothing with his, content.
Honestly, I had these I mean, you do know that you can get bored of something, right? Like, you have so many iterations of the same topic. It's just like, it really is not, it's not that interesting.
Yeah, but welcome to daily communication.
As your friend, I would suggest that you pivot to using Clubhouse to find girlfriends and stop the other stuff you're doing, respectfully.
Maybe girlfriend, not friends.
You're not going to find any girlfriends here,
That would mean
Hubert.
I'd have to give up my true identity, and I don't need to do that with, the stuff I've said.
I took a chick out on a date the other day to my boat and to lunch, and she's a Free Palestine person who believes that the largest genocide in human history is being live streamed for all the world to see. And I'm like, so young, so beautiful, but just.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, is she beautiful at least? Because obviously.
Yeah, she's beautiful because she's young, 23, 24, 25, but just highly politicized, highly polarized, and really it's her mental health is, being fried. She's constantly in a state of anxiety. So unless you really learn meditation or how to create peace, like this type of shit causes people to get arrested. I mean, I've witnessed hundreds of people get arrested outside of the federal office that I work at that are protesting, and a lot of these young people are Jewish, and I'm like, you're gonna ruin your Shabbos, and they're smiling and laughing, like it's because
Getting arrested for something like that is like not life altering. It's just
no, in Chicago they
Let's
just
know what
released it.
career you want. Well, hold on. Let's unpack this for a second. So, first of all, all the mental health research shows that young single women who are liberal, the vast majority have serious mental problems. It's easy to confirm that, whereas young single women that are conservative, very few have mental problems. That's point one. Point two is, when people are arrested, it does close certain career opportunities off from them for life and open others. It depends on what you think the trajectory of hiring will be in the U.S. actually do believe that getting arrested for being pro-Hamas will hurt their career in most career fields. I'm done speaking.
I'll just say this regarding the whole Israeli thing. I think I'm watching in real time, like the permanent. How do I put this? Israel had very special, I guess you could say, treatment with the United States and the West in general, and I think it's being floundered right now, and that it's really going to be. I don't really see them coming back after this.
Well, I think that you can hold on a second. Let me respond to that very briefly. You can love Israel, and you can actually believe that Israel handled this matter exactly right. So let's just take a person that loves Israel and thinks Israel handled this exactly right, but still say this attack did help Iran tremendously, right? Because by doing this attack, Iran was able to activate every single leftist, every single progressive in the world to being anti-Israel. And so I think that Iran knew that a lot of Palestinians would be killed as a result of October 7th, and Iran was smart. They knew that the more Palestinians that were killed, the more anti-Israel that the leftists would become.
No, I agree, but I think even coming from the right, it's now. Even I have a lot of issues, not with the state of Israel, but with the state is obviously involved. But
let me ask Pepe. Let me ask you a humble. Hold on, Pepe. Let me ask you a humble question. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing in any way. Do you think that if after the October 7th attacks happened, let's imagine Israel just appealed to the world for diplomacy for 3 years and there was no military response? How I'm asking you, you're as an honest broker, do you think Israel would be better off if there was no military response, just a diplomatic response? Answer honestly, answer honestly.
No, because they would have. First of all, by not responding, that would just they would invite even stronger attacks. I do think what they should have done is invited the international media. Yes, it puts them at risk, but international media has always been allowed in war zones, including in Iraq and so forth.
That's not true. That's not true. You can Google now. Go to your ChatGPT and ask what are the zones that are not allowed. Right now, in the war in Ukraine, there are so many restricted areas to journalists. Exactly for the same reason. The thing that you are saying is what everybody is saying because of lack of knowledge. You are always, and this is the exact double standard, is to tell Israel is doing something, ignoring that it's happening everywhere all the time, and kind of pretending or just being like not knowledgeable that it does happen. One second, let me finish, please. And the fact is that if the journalists that went into Lebanon, for example, they said that they were extorted by threatening their colleagues that if they would report anything bad, something would happen to their colleagues. And last point is that if any of those people will be killed, doesn't matter by who or by what, Israel would be blamed. So I don't think there's right about this.
Daniel, let me respond. I want to take this in another direction, and if you don't like what I'm saying, please kick me out of the room, okay? My direction is, if I was in charge of Israel, I would have done something neither of you suggested. If I was in charge of Israel on October 8th, why don't you be there?
What?
If you don't kick him out of the room,
Amos, hold on a second.
If you don't kick me out of the stage, I'll even kick him off.
Hubert, hold on a second. Amos, please. Amos, I'm asking you, I will come to you.
You cannot have a break and dance music a little bit.
I will dance, but please don't interrupt, okay? Thank you.
Okay, if I was in charge of Israel on October 8th, it would have been very simple. I would have said, This is a scheme.
We're losing you, or it's just me? I think we lost you, Gilbert.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
This attack was planned, and please let me finish. Why don't you motherfucking let me finish?
Hold on, we did. My God, we
Why don't you let me finish?
For fuck's sake, shut up for a second. I tried to tell you that we didn't hear a word you said because you were cut off. For fuck's sake, relax. I'm asking you to restart because we didn't hear anything you said. Please relax and don't curse me, and please be respectful because I'm respectful to you.
Well, then let me finish. Then let me finish.
For fuck's sake, I'm telling you that we couldn't hear you. This is why I stopped you to tell you to start over. Do you fucking understand?
You were in the Matrix.
Coming out of my mouth.
Cuber, you were in the Matrix.
No, because I'm in my car and there's background noise. That's why. I'm in my car and there's background noise. So I think that things are a little too heated. Maybe I'll come back to your room tomorrow, respectfully.
It's heated because you started cursing when you had a problem with your mic, and I tried to tell you that there's a problem with your mic, but you kept on blabbering and cursing me that I just wanted to hear you. So you can say
I
I'm sorry.
apologize. Okay.
You can say I'm sorry and just move on.
Allow me to apologize. I fear that I act as a total asshole, as I sometimes do. So will you accept my apology because it's sincere?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. If I was in charge of Israel, as an Israeli patriot, as a Zionist, I would have said very simply, very quietly, this is a provocation. Iran wants us to kill Palestinians. Every single person in the leadership in Tehran is hoping and praying to Allah that we attack Palestinians. And maybe if we were stupid, we would, but we're too smart to attack Palestinians. Instead of attacking Palestinians, we are going to appeal to the entire world to start dropping bombs on Iran. 100% of the military effort is going to be focused on dropping bombs on Iran. We will not kill a single Palestinian. We're going to kill Iranians, and we're going to keep killing Iranian mullahs. We're going to kill every single religious leader in Iran with no exceptions until the hostages are freed. And we're asking for America. We're showing incredible restraint by not killing any Palestinians. We're asking for every ally of Israel, especially America, give us a fuckload of free weapons, give us everything we want so that we can destroy every mullah in Iran. And if America gives us weapons, as long as America keeps giving us a shitload of weapons, we won't kill any Palestinians, we'll kill Iranians. Now, in my view, ever suggested this. No Zionist has suggested it. No anti-Semite. No one except me is suggesting that the war should have been against Iran. The war should not have been in Gaza. It should have been against Iran. I want to hear brutal criticism of my humble view.
I don't think that the world will stop. You left. We welcome.
How y'all guys doing today?
Looks like what was the name of the defense minister when the war started? Daniel.
Yoav Gallant.
Yeah, Yoav Gallant suggested exactly that. So you're not the first one to bring it up. He suggested it in the war room. He said we should ignore the saddles and go full-fledged, destroy Hezbollah. They already have to be first set up and go after Iran. And then when that's done, go into Gaza.
They already did that already. So what are you talking about?
He said this on October 8th.
Iran already got hit. What other people that got hit? Jordan don't got hit.
What are you talking about? Jordan was not 1960.
Jordan and Graham got hit 6 months ago. What are you talking about? Jordan got hit. Iran got hit. Afghanistan got hit.
By who? By who? By who?
By the U.S. and the Israelis.
Okay. When did Israel attack Jordan?
When Jordan said they were part of that terrorist group. What's the name of that group?
They never said it. Jordan is a state, you understand it? They are part of any terrorist group.
No, yeah, but they got hit. Jordan tried to play. Jordan got blockaded by America. So we blockaded Jordan.
What? What are you talking about?
Jordan got blockaded by America.
I'm not sure what you're talking. Maybe you're confusing with another country.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm thinking that maybe that you are kind of mixing things up. Israel did not attack Jordan. Jordan did get hit by rockets that
Exactly.
fell on the. Hold on, let me finish. No. Jordan, this is what I'm saying because words matter. Jordan was not attacked. Rockets that flew from, for example, Iran and were intercepted fell in Jordan territory. But the targeting was Israel. Jordan was never like a target, and they were not attacked by anyone that I know of. Especially not by us.
Attack Israel. We got the dome. You can't attack Israel. We got the dome. So we attack Lebanon. We attack Lebanon. Right? We shot them back to Lebanon. We shot them back to Jordan. We shot them back to what the other people? What's their name?
I know, but he's saying who's we that attacked Lebanon?
That's his name. That's his name. We.
So anyway, Asuki left, but he said no one suggested taking the war to Iran. Yoav Galan did exactly that, and he did it on October 8th.
And how do you tell the world that why, like, again, I think that it's a bit naive to think that they cannot twist it against Israel regardless. Like, regardless what we do.
That's why Netanyahu shut it down, because he's a politician, although Yoav Galan is probably a better warrior. And also, not only that, what do you do with the reservists? There's 50,000 reservists that are ready to go to war.
Israel is surrounded by our enemies on all sides.
What do you do with 350,000 reservists that are ready to go into Gaza and now tell them, no, we're going to be focused on that?
Y'all can't do nothing in Gaza.
And what about and attacking Iran? First of all, Hamas is not a proxy of Iran, okay?
We already attacked.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like every time that someone speaks, you speak over them. You want to speak, I will let you speak. Go ahead and speak. But you speak while other people are speaking. It's really hard to listen.
I apologize.
Go ahead, speak.
No, go ahead. I apologize.
Okay.
Say things that are remotely connected to reality a little bit.
And again, we need to ask this. Hamas is not a proxy of Iran. Iran can be attacked, and they will tell Hamas release the hostages. Hamas has their own ideology. It will not. I don't see how Iran can force Hamas to do anything.
But that's where you got it down wrong. That there's no difference. You guys are all the enemy. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. It does not matter. Lebanon has been attacked. If you want to call them Hezbollah, they've been attacked. Iran has been attacked. Even to Afghanistan.
No, Lebanon was not attacked. Lebanon attacked and then got retaliation.
Exactly. So they attacked and nothing hit us. A couple missiles hit us, so we got the dome. A couple missiles hit us, and we fucked y'all up. So what are you talking after that, Daniel?
What did you ask again?
Y'all attacked and we fucked y'all up. What did you do after that?
We continue attacking until the threat is gone. That is the concept.
And we kept fucking you up. And y'all still getting fucked up. We still got the Iron Dome, and you cannot attack us.
Who is you and who is we? I'm not sure that I'm...
Who is we? I'm an American. I'm for Israel.
Okay, so and who is you? And who's you? Oh,
I mean, honestly, how long do you want to have a conversation with somebody who's incoherent?
Well, then I wouldn't come to Clubhouse. So I don't see how that would be helpful, you know? And it's not just the threat of Hamas that Iran cannot stop. It's the hostages. And, you know, we had full 100% legitimacy, and still we are in the position that we are. They kidnapped children, babies, they murdered them. They slaughtered 1,200 people. They made thousands. We don't need any more excuse. If the world doesn't see it, and this I'm telling also to Pepe, following what you said before, if the world stand against Israel, yes, that is our problem, but it's also a stain on their society. And, you know, like anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is not something that the Jews should take care of. It's something that is a problem for society. And if a country becomes anti-Semitic, that is stain on their flag, not on us. yes, we are being attacked, but it doesn't stain us. Same with this anti-Jewish, anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, whatever you want to call it, rhetoric or allegiance with Hamas. Yes, we are suffering from it, but the stain is not on us. That is my point.
Well, I know people like to push back.
Oh my God!
I know that a lot of Jews will push back against this, or I should say Zionist Jews, but criticizing Israel, which a lot of people have started to do in the West. Number one, I think that just like after the invasion of Iraq, a lot of people were protesting the American government, the military going in there, and there was 1 million people that were killed. A lot of course, service members that permanently scarred and killed. I do think like the Rubicon was crossed where, okay, there is quite a bit of innocent casualties. We can forget about the ratio of enemy combatants to civilians killed. It's still going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, and it's going to be very hurtful for them to see it. So you guys are getting that feedback, and I don't think it's
Well, they don't have a military uniform. They do not have a military uniform. They want to say we are military and hide behind civilians. So when we bomb fucking hospitals and stuff like that, they're gonna say, "Oh, we're not fucking military." So have a military uniform and a military flag and stand on it. They don't have that. They hide behind their people. That's why their people die, and they want to play with.
I don't think it's to be honest, I don't think it's criticism of Israel. I think that if there's a nation that, I would phrase it differently. I don't think there are people that criticize Israel more than Israelis themselves. Okay? It's not about criticism. Blaming us, we can give it up. Blaming us, I'm trying to mute you up, so stay muted. Thank you. Okay. It's not criticism. Genocide is not criticism. Ethnic cleansing is not criticism. War crimes, killing babies, those are not criticism. This is blood libel.
No, I said civilian deaths. I didn't know. To be fair, I said civilian deaths. I would say like.
He's talking about there's a problem with what you're saying.
But listen, you guys do not have a military uniform. Shut up.
First of all, why is he on stage? First of all, Pepe, the criticism came before Israel even responded. So to say that it's okay, we're just responding to how far and how much is completely irrelevant to what Daniel said, because the criticism, quote unquote, started way before it. So they basically said Hamas had the right to attack and you have the right to respond. That was what the world responded immediately. Second of all, there is no disproportionate response. There actually is. What Israel's doing is extremely measured, way more than most countries any country would do in a similar situation. And to try to bring up the Iraq War, when there was definitely a lot of anti-American going on, but with most of the criticism was we don't want to be involved in this war across the world, and to try to talk to people that were murdered in their own homes and are protecting their homes is not an analogy at all. So you can criticize Israel if you have a legitimate criticism, but to say that Hamas is resistance and they have the right to murder you, and when you respond, you're the villain. I mean, you're definitely putting a double standard, just like arbitrary complaint against only one side.
That's not. But I'm not. You guys know me well enough to know I'm not pro-Palestinian.
No, I know, but I'm saying.
I would say, like, okay, look at Piers Morgan, for example. He's somebody who I've never heard say anything negative about Jews. He's actually been a strong supporter of Israel and condoned Israel responding militarily. But even he's kind of been like, oh, it's a little too much. And I think that you're going to see people do that. That's just natural.
Piers Morgan is someone that just likes to be liked. Like, he doesn't have a spine. He just wobbles, from one place to the other. He doesn't even have a critical standing to actually take an opinion on something. And no, I don't think it is too much. And you're talking about civilians. Do you even know how many civilians there are?
Well,
because you would be the only person in the world that knows how many civilians have died, because there's no way to know. There are a lot of militants that are disguised as civilians, and so they make it impossible for the IDF to fight them, because precisely they have to go door by door hands off, pretending they're civilians, and they're like, okay, like, fine, we're looking for this and that, and for weapons, and da-da-da, and then the other quote-unquote civilians get out of the house and shoot them, and a lot of IDF soldiers have died like that, because they have been obliged to go house by house respecting the so-called civilians when they're not civilians, and they are killed.
You know how many stories I heard from hostages?
Taking a position on what's right or wrong. He's telling you what the situation is, what the optics situation is.
Exactly. Yeah, the optics. Yeah, we know the optics. I'm saying it's not criticism. Let me ask you, Pepe. You're talking about the civilian death in Gaza. Do you know any other war that happened in the last 10 years and the number of casualties? Even one that's happening right now?
Every war has casualties, and I would say
No. I'm asking. No. My question is: do you know the number of any war in the last 10 years, including ones that are happening right now? Give me a number.
Well, there's the one that's currently like a civil war in Myanmar.
What is the number?
Sudan. I don't know.
No. So my point is, there are wars going on everywhere, including now Ukraine. You don't know the numbers, okay? There's hyper focus on Israel. It's not about criticism. It's about double standards.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
You tell me. Yes, there's a real reason for this.
I think Israel is kind of seen as being more or less one of us, like in terms of countries in the West. We're countries that are highly involved with Israel. Our societies are very similar. I'm sure there's differences, but very similar. So we kind of we focus on what happens to people like ourselves in countries that we're connected with, civilizations like our own, far more than South Sudan. How many people do you know from South Sudan? And what the fuck do they even eat there? I don't know.
What about Ukraine? How many people, you don't care about Ukraine. Yeah, exactly, but how many people died in Ukraine? How many civilians died in Ukraine? Is it 100,000? Is it 500? Do you even have a ballpark? Do you hear about it in the news? Like daily reports about hospitals being bombed and journalists not allowed to go in? No, you don't hear about it, so you think it doesn't exist. There's hyper focus on Israel. No, you don't know because no one tells you about this.
But there's updates all the time. What are you talking about?
So tell me, how many casualties are in Ukraine? Give me a ballpark.
Oh,
is it 100,000? Is it 200? Is it 500?
I heard it's like when it comes to fighting forces, it's approaching 1 million for the Russians.
No, civilians.
Injured.
Civilians? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's tens of thousands.
Sure,
but here's the thing, though. If I say Putin is a murderer, he's a thug, and he's fucking the place up and killing civilians, I'm not going to get much pushback from that. So it's not really that controversial.
I don't know. Ukraine just situation, and then Trump tweeted out or social out whatever that it was badass and like the best thing he ever did. So they're definitely pushback.
Yeah, people fight. There's a lot of weird things going on where I think there's foreign involvement online. I think it's also taking place with the Israel war.
So you're saying that basically,
are there Russians on U.S. campuses that can't get to class because they're being blamed for the Russian aggression, or vice versa? Are there Ukrainians that are being blamed? Like, are there are there like marches in support of one side or the other that are getting firebombed, and then when the person gets deported, they're like, no, you can't do it, you can't deport that person. So what are we even talking about? Like, what
sure, I don't know. I think once again, you guys are fashionable to hate and say like Israel sucks, to deny your history, your existence, to delegitimize it. You guys are they look at you as a bunch of white colonizers, just like they look at white people in the West.
There's a double standard.
And so, there was days where white people couldn't go to campus and shit. Like
my point is, you're proving my point. It's not a criticism. It's brainwash, it's lies, it's fabrication, it's blood libels. I cannot, like when you say majority whites, it's completely wrong.
but that's not how they look at it. I had the